Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. In the last episode, we made it here to Firelink Shrine, and in this episode, it is time to begin the adventure proper. So, first up, we must embed the coiled sword in this pit. And so the bonfire of Firelink Shrine is lit once more. And there we go, now we can access all these things. So we can travel, you can, just like the previous game, you can travel to any bonfire that you visited, which is quite nice. You can attune spells if you have any. You can organise your storage box, which is not too important, although storage is actually more of a feature in this game than it is in previous games, because in this game you actually are limited by by stack size, so you can only carry so much of one thing at one time, so it's actually quite important to manage this. So like with fire bombs here, it says I can only hold 20 at a time, and you can store up to 600. So yeah, storage is a bit more important in this game than previous games. And of course finally, burn undead bone shard. And what these are is basically like the, were they called this in the last game? I think they were. But yeah, something like that in the last games. Yeah, they're the same in this game. You burn those and they will upgrade your Estus flask. Very important. So look out for them. Righty ho then. So, let's head over here and talk to this fellow.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
So, if you played the previous two games, you know that this guy is a little bit familiar. That's right, it's this game's crestfallen warrior. In normal Dark Souls fashion, every game has one, and this is the crestfallen warrior of Dark Souls 3.
What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the lords of cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends, those who...
Yeah. So yes, he too is unkindled, but he doesn't really see the point in the quest, because, you know, this is quite a task. But we are not going to let it beat us. So up here, Yorm the Giant of the profaned capital. This is his throne, hence why it's so large. And this one up here, the Watchers of the Abyss, with all these swords. And don't these swords look a little familiar? Anyway, up here, Holy King Lothric, last hope of his line. So, even the King of Lothric, we must return to the throne. And over here, Ludleth the Exiled, and he is actually already here in person, so we'll talk to him in a second. And over here, Saint Aldrich of the Deep. So, those are the Lords of Cinder, and we must find them all and return them to their thrones. So, Ludleth.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords, as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a lord of cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus.
So, just like the previous game, quite a bit of time has passed since this game and the last, and at this point there have been many Lords of Cinder linking the fire over and over. And we are not going to be the next Lord of Cinder. Well, actually we will be, but first of all we need to find the Lords of Cinder.
Knowest thou of I'm...
Yes.
Now, do not be away over long.
But yes, that is our goal. We must find the Lords of Cinder, and then we can become one ourselves. So, that is our quest. But first up, we need to explore the rest of Firelink Shrine. And who's this?
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont? No?
So, the Shrine Handmaid, she is your primary vendor for Firelink. So you can buy all sorts of things from her. Embers, repair powders, purple moss clumps, fire bombs, prism stones, blah blah blah. White sign soapstone if you want to do some summoning, which I can't at the moment because the servers are still down. Dried fingers, which I can't remember what they do. I think they make you more likely to be invaded, but I'm not sure. A tower key, this is quite an important one, but it's 20,000 souls, but yeah, pretty important one, so be sure to save up for that. And some simple sorceries, Soul Arrow and Farron Dart, and a simple Miracle Heal Aid. And also some simple weapons. And a torch. Now this is how lighting works in this game. Torches make a return in this game, just like the last, but in this game torches are not consumable, they're actually just like a held weapon, and as long as you're holding it, it will provide light. And there are no braziers and stuff in this game, it's just hold a torch and it will provide light. And these have infinite duration, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, lighting makes a return in this game just like the last, but not as much of a big mechanic as it was in the last game. So I will be buying a torch. And she also sells some simple shields, but I cannot afford them. And some chain armor and some arrows and stuff. All good stuff. And also another thing, you can actually sell stuff to her, which is pretty useful. If you have some excess stuff, then that's where you go.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
So there you go. If you wish to unlock new items of the Shrine Handmaid, then that's what you need to give her, ash, which is found all over the world. I will try and find all of it to show you guys. She can sell some pretty good stuff if you give her enough ash.
Knowest thou of that soppy gossip? That cordial intrusion layeth the path to embers. And so thou art in need of a soapstone, Ashen One. Then thy pockets will overflow with souls to trade to me.
I would love to, but the servers are still down, so I can't.
Ashen One, bring... Is it not?
Yeah.
Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
Indeed. Now over here, I'm sure you've probably seen him. Look who it is. It's Andre from the first game. He's returned.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
So there you go, Andre. He is your blacksmith for the game. He is the only one in the game, and he can do all this stuff. So he can reinforce the weapons. Of course, we know about this. Uses Titanite, reinforces the weapon. Very simple stuff. Next up, he has Infusion. Now this is pretty similar to Infusion from the previous game, but there are all sorts of different infusions and they're quite important in this game. I'll go through them. So right now we only have access to 3. We have Refined Infusion using Refined Gems, which will increase the scaling with Strength and Dexterity, I believe. Because that's the thing, Infusion will actually affect the scaling in this game. Just similarly to the last game, but even more so in this game, so it's pretty important. And you have Raw, which will remove scaling but increase base damage, good in the early game. And you have Fire, which will also remove scaling but will add fire damage, which is also pretty good. And he can repair equipment, of course. And in this game, weapons do repair at bonfires, just like the previous game. But like the first game, they have much longer durability. So it's sort of like the best of both worlds. So that means that in this game your weapons don't break like faster than, I don't know, fragile glass or something like that, like in the last game. Which is nice, because in the last game weapons breaking very fast was a bit annoying. But it also means that in this game you barely ever have to repair equipment. So you don't really have to worry about that. Now, allotting Estus Flask, this is another thing you can do. You can choose the amount of Estus Flask you want to be Ashen and the amount you want to be normal, which is quite useful if you use a lot of spells. So I'm not going to be using any spells in this playthrough, or at least I don't plan to. And I'm going to be using entirely regular Estus. So maximum healing. And you can also reinforce your Estus as well. And you can do this with Estus shards, just like the previous game, which again you find all over the world, so keep an eye out. But we have none so far.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would.
Andre, still his lovable self.
There are 2 ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down.
Hurrah! There we go, another gesture.
Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned.
Ah yes, of course, I almost forgot about that. So if you want to infuse more kinds of infusion at Andre, then you will need to bring him coal, which is another thing that you'll find scattered throughout the world. So again, keep an eye out for those.
Oh, by the by, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh?
Indeed. Sorry about that noise as well, my controller is being a douche.
Weapons and protection are sturdy, but when use a powder, but they so.
Yeah.
Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
Indeed, Andre. So, I believe that is it for Firelink at this point. There's not too many people here at this point, but hopefully we'll find some throughout the game. So, I'm gonna head up here a second before we venture out into the wide world. Out here, look at this. It's a giant tree from the second game. A seed of the giant tree is yet to fall. So, just like the second game, at this tree occasionally you'll find a seed of the tree of the giants. And I believe what it did in the second game is what it does here as well, which like if someone invades you and you use it, then the monsters in your world will attack the invading player. So pretty handy. And quite hilarious. And up here, get a soul of a deserted corpse. And we can't get on there just yet. Even if you want, you can't. No, you can't. So we need to get in here. But it's locked. We require that key, that tower key, to get in there. So we will have to come back here later. Alrighty. So, let us venture to the world. Using the bonfire to the high wall of Lothric. And here we are in Lothric. And over here, look at this. It's the Lord vessel. And a coiled sword. What does it mean? Who knows? Anyway, let's make our way out here. Welcome to the High Wall of Lothric, our first real area of the game. And that up there is Lothric Castle. Is it not beautiful? But we will have to make our way up there. We're not ready for that place yet, so we will need to grow stronger. So light up this bonfire. So here you have two ways to go, but the left way is the correct way. So in typical Dark Souls fashion, we go the right way first. Always go the wrong way first. Chop this guy down to size. Otherwise he'll be shooting us, because he's a dickhead. And over here there are dogs, because that's lovely. Oh god, my controller is messing up. That's lovely. Here we go. Hopefully my controller doesn't mess up too much, because that's quite annoying. Right, chop those dogs. Now this guy, he wields a halberd, so he's a bit stronger than the regular guys. So he has quite long range and also hits pretty hard, so watch out for him. But I am powerful. Ooh, and this guy wields an axe, so he's also quite powerful. There we go. You get some nice bleeding with the Uchi-Katana. It's pretty nice. And those guys were light armored enemies, so I was able to stun lock them. Again, important thing to note. Ouch! Chop, chop. Ooh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a pus of man. Ouch. Ooh. Yee. Yee. So yes, that thing that burst out of Udex Gundyr, that is the same thing. It is a pus of man, that is what it's called. And at this stage of the game, it's very dangerous. And also very loud as well. So I'm gonna equip this a second. Okay. So noisy. Bloody hell. So noisy, I can barely hear with those things around. Alright, I'll just get back to him and then I'll show you how to defeat that thing. Because believe it or not, it is beatable. Alright, now time for round 2, Mr. Puss. Drop this guy. You can kill this guy quickly to prevent the pus from spawning, but I'm not going to be doing that because I want to show you guys proper. Oh. So, how to beat these guys? Throw a firebomb. Ow! But yes, throwing a firebomb or using any kind of fire-based attack will stun the pus man. And also do big damage. But it is still quite difficult. God, I need to turn my headphones down. I can barely hear with those things around. But yes, it is still quite difficult. And controller, can you wake up? Alright, I'll be there in just a tick for another attempt. Alright, attempt number 3. Now this time I'm going to try and kill him. There we go. So, yes, that's what you do. If you kill them quickly, you can prevent the pus from spawning. And at this stage, that's what I recommend you do, because at this stage, the pus of men are pretty tough. Pretty tough. Over here, get a longbow. Very nice. And chop these guys. These guys are simple hollows. They are of no threat. And we can't get up there, so that is all for this direction. Although there is a bit down the stairs. I'll just go investigate that a second. After I equip the bow, of course. So of course the way equipment load works in this game is just like the last game. There is only 2 types of rolls. There's regular roll, which is up to 70%, and there's a slow roll, which is when you're over 70% equipment load. So the goal is to stay under 70. Oh god. There you go. Stab him. Get a tiny nice shard. Soul of it is a corpse. And kill you. So can't open that door, so that is all there is for this direction. So time to head back in the other direction. Alright, let's head over to the left. So over here there's quite a few hollows, but they are of no threat. Oh, don't get impatient, because then that happens. Chop, chop. Now this guy. Ooh. So what he was doing there was he was like alerting all of the hollows. So unless you kill that guy quickly, he will actually alert all the hollows and they will all become hostile. So with those guys it's best to kill them quickly in order to not get completely gangbanged by these dudes. Chop chop. And love this katana. Katanas have always been my favourite weapons in the Souls games, and in this game it's no different. Soul of a Deserted Corpse. And yeah. And look at this over here. It's a Hellkite Wyvern, or a giant drake of some kind, but it's old and rotting. Isn't it cool? Get in here. I see you. Don't think you're getting the snuck on me, mister. Oh, but you got the snuck. Here we go. And over here there's an item. Get some firebombs, always nice. One of the big uses of firebombs at this stage is if you encounter one of those pus of mends, you can use them to stun them. That's probably the best use of them at this stage. And my controller is being a real douche at the moment. Man, probably should get a new cable or something. Anyway, in here, soul of a deserted corpse. And out here. Hello. Come on. Oh. So, just like Dark Souls 1, if you want to break their guard, then you need to two-hand your weapon. Because swinging one-handed, your attack will just bounce off. So, yeah, just like Dark Souls 1, two-hand your weapon if they're blocking, and just smash through their guard. And smashing through their guard in this game is extra good, because it will actually put them in an execution move position. So you can perform an execution move if you do that. Now I'm actually going to do something a bit special here. If we head up here. Yes, the Hellkite Wyvern returns. And I was actually hoping he would kill all of these guys, but that's fine. Chop, chop, chop. There we go. Ooh, get a great axe. Nice. Out, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. So, how to get past the Hellkite Wyvern? Well, if you head up top. Watch out for that. But yes, if you head up top, you actually can't stand in it because that's fire. It will burn you. There we go. So if you lure out the attack and then run this way, then you can actually get past him. Run. There we go. So you actually, there is a lot of stuff up there, but I will go up there later and I will show you how to do so later. Alright, head up here. Chop, chop. And, oh, hello. Now this guy is a tough one, so watch out. This guy is a Lothric Knight. And he has poise, so you need to be careful with him. And not only that, but his moveset is also quite diverse and quite aggressive. So you need to be quick. You need to be smart when fighting this guy. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh. And yes, you can't just hold up your shield forever because he really likes to do that shield slam. Ooh. Chop. There you go, watch out for that shield slam. And there we go, down he goes. A little bit sloppy, but I'm getting back into the spirit of things though. Doesn't open from this side. Chop, chop. And I need to heal, my health's pretty low. Get a soul of a deserted corpse. Oh hello, didn't even see you there. Well, you're dead now. So, how to get past the Hellkite Wyvern? Basically, I don't know if there's actually a way to get past it normally, but what I like to do is I like to wait until later in the game when I have like a stronger bow, and then I will like stand. You need to stand in like this doorway here, and then you can actually shoot the Hellkite Wyvern with your bow, and it takes quite a while, but once you've shot it enough, it will actually fly away and never return. So that's what I like to do. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but that is how I like to do it, so that is what I recommend. Anyway, let's head in here. Oh, hello. You come in hot, don't you, bro? Alright, there's an item over there. Get some firebombs. Alright, let's head up here first. Head up here first, because up here, sweet, blessed bonfire. Lovely bonfire. So, I am all out of time for this episode, guys. So, that is where I'm going to be leaving things. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.